Good morning, Mrs. Murder here, and today we'll discuss the 13th Brother Cadfael book, Rose Rent. See it? The Rose Rent. Speaking of roses, it's about a white rose. And while I was reading in this day, I read about a saint, Alexander Schmorl, who, with a small group of university students, formed an underground anti-Nazi circle called the White Rose. Its members were all motivated by Christian faith, whether Catholic, Lutheran, case of Alexander Schmorl, one of the founders, Russian Orthodox. And this subversive activity consisted of circulating mimeographed material leaflets urging their fellow Germans to uphold the honor of their country by rejecting Hitler and his crimes. Schmorl, the medical student and a former army medic, also traveled to Austria to spread the leaflets. Their actions threw the Gestapo into a frenzy. They all wound up being beheaded, but we can't ever forget those who stand up to evil and wicked. In the Rose Rent, not to make a lesson out of this, but every Brother Cadfael book has a mystery in it and has a lesson for any of the people who commit any kind of crimes like murder. And in the Rose Rent, we always have a death, and in this case, we have more than one. It starts out innocently enough, a widow who's lost her husband and then after losing him lost her unborn baby, and she's bereft. She was so happy in her beautiful home and had a beautiful white rose bush out back that her husband had tended and cared for and they loved, and so she gave the whole, not wanting to just think about how unhappy she was while she lived there, she gave that property to the Abbey, St. Peter and St. Paul Abbey, and all she wants them to give her in return is, on the anniversary of her husband's death, she wants one white rose brought to her by the Abbey. The Abbey rents out the property to a tradesman who repairs shoes and does all kinds of things. But at any rate, he takes care of the rose bush, and then one of the young novices brings the rose to her every year. She's a beautiful woman, as all protagonists, and most of the people we meet that are female in Ellis Peters' books. And just the young novice is just smitten with her and is very upset because he feels that he is breaking some kind of a law with God by having these feelings that he has when he's around her because she's so beautiful. Neither have said anything or acted on him or anything like that, but he still has a very strong conscience because this young lad, Uric, was reared since 3 months old in the Abbey. He was given to the Abbey as a baby and he's never been outside of the Abbey, so he's known nothing in all his training and in all his years up to his late teens, but Abbey life. So he's very protected. At any rate, that's how this starts out, and as you go through the book and go through his murder, then you have a couple other deaths along the way. The young woman herself is kidnapped, and we're trying to find her, and it's just upheaval, storms, river raging, all the usual backdrop for all of Ellis Peters' books, all for the Brother Cadfael books, and he is there to help and to make wise judgments, and it's a very interesting book. And the White Rose just reminded me of that White Rose Society when I ran across it. And here I'm reading this book at the same time as that was a reading in that magazine. So I found that quite fortuitous. I hope that you enjoy this book. I know you will. It's the 13th Chronicle, and the next Chronicle, the 14th, will be The Hermit of Ayton Forest. So we'll be talking to you when I finish that one, and thank you very much. Have a nice day. See you later. Bye.